Welcome to Inside the House podcast, episode number 7 at Virtual Worlds in Milton Keynes. Today we've got a panel discussion in a slightly different format, so bear with it and you'll find some great information here in the bathroom industry. All about the future of the bathroom design, and also we've got an accompanying video showing you the full 4D experience at Virtual Worlds. So have a look at our website, insidethehouse.co.uk, and you'll find the links to that video. Also, put it on YouTube and social media. It'll be on Instagram TV, Facebook, so you'll find the video in all these different locations. Please like the video, please maybe subscribe if you feel you can, and also leave us a review. We're looking for feedback, so please leave us a review on this video. So enjoy, and there is another episode after this as well, episode number 8, which is again at Virtual Worlds, and we're discussing more about bathroom industry, and so catch up with that. See you soon. Thank you guys for joining us today here at the lovely Virtual Worlds head office. We have Sandino, Luke, George and Zoltan, yes, today. So a mix of product leads, modelling team leads, project manager, and actually a modeller. Is that correct? Yep, that's me. Cool, perfect. So just want the real worker. The real worker, the one that actually does all the grunt work. Exactly. So today we were having a little bit of a different podcast, a little bit of a panel, so we're going to see how it goes. It was a new style for us. So today, just dive into it first of all. Sandino, when you was at school, and I'm sure you wanted to be something really interesting, what did you want to be when you were younger? Did you have no idea? Did you have an idea?
The thing is with me, I grew up in an industry where my parents had a fish and chip shop. Mm-hmm. So from a young age, I was always kind of developed kind of like work in that. So it's always like, eventually I might get my own fish and chip shop.
Yeah, cool.
Obviously that is not the biggest dream you'd ever want as a kid. So as we started going through school, started developing IT and graphic design and stuff like that. And I started thinking maybe like advertising was going to be a good channel that I'd start going into. I don't think I'm too far away from it. I'm not exactly like diverted away from it completely, but yeah, that was kind of like the idea. It was advertising, graphic design, IT. You use all those skills combined. Still very much in the chip shop. Haven't got away from that at all.
You still do Saturdays and Sundays?
Still do Fridays.
Friday nights?
Yeah.
Friday nights in the chip shop.
Exactly.
Come on, that's cool. That's really good.
You've never brought anything in for us?
Yeah, where's all the leftovers?
You haven't tasted it.
Where's all the scraps? You know, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, get you all the freebies.
And Luke, the same question to yourself then. Where was your sort of like background from school?
I, like most kids my age, I enjoyed games, I guess.
Yep.
So played a lot of Xbox, a lot of PlayStation. It kind of just developed from there really, as I wanted to get into making those games, or how interested I would. I was kind of leaning towards the artsy style, so 3D modelling was the sort of the way to go. Then I went to university, studied interactive games design. Once you left, I applied for a lot of games jobs. Unfortunately, they required a lot of experience, which I had zero of. And then this job sort of come up, which is, when I tell my friends what I do, I kind of say, all right, do you know The Sims? Sort of you design your own house.
Yeah. That's
what we do, but for real life. Yeah. So you create the real bathroom, kitchen. I kind of expand it to the whole house.
Start using that.
Yeah. That's what we make The Sims in real life.
Real life Sims.
Yeah.
My friends don't know what I do. Every time I explain it to them, they're always like, do you know Chandler Out of Friends, that kind of situation? And that was really an old reference there, 90s reference.
But then you go back to saying,
no one knew what
chip shop.
Yeah. And then I go back to say how to work in a chip shop. It's easier.
It's easier to explain it. But that's really interesting, because you've actually sort of, your childhood playing games has developed into a career. And I think a lot of young people today who are gaming, because there's a huge gaming society out there of Call of Duty, whatever the latest game may be, and there's a huge amount of people who actually want to make a career in doing that and making money. And there are a few, but only a small percentage of actually physically making money in that.
Yeah, it's quite shaky, the industry of how long you actually have a job for, unless you're seeded quite well in a company. From what I hear, you don't spend too long at one company, you sort of jump around. So it's quite nice to have that security here where you're... Yeah.
It's really
I'm not going to be let go in the next... Well, hopefully not. in the next month or so.
Today, but so that's all good. And yourself, Jules?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. I wanted to be loads of different things as girls did. I wanted to work. I mean, sort of when I was little, I wanted to be a lawyer and a doctor. Then it sort of, then my dreams sort of got smaller. Being a hairdresser, pet store. So I did nothing to do with IT, nothing to do with CAD at all. And then as I grew up, went to university, and I sort of did one module in CAD modelling.
How did that come about? That's
It was kind of optional, really, and I thought, I'll have to give it a go. So I did.
Yes.
And I found I actually enjoyed it.
Yep.
And then we have a placement year, so that was when you have to go and find work. I tried to find some work and didn't get anywhere, and it was only by chance I went to see my tutor and said, look, I need some help in trying to find some work. And he said, oh, I know someone who used to work here, I'll give him a call.
Yeah.
So I gave him a call and I got my work placement here.
And did you start doing modelling here?
Yes.
Was that your start,
Yes.
was it? Yes,
Yeah.
you started doing modelling.
Yep.
And then worked your way up, as it were. That's
Yes.
good. Yeah, really good.
So I've been here ever since.
Yeah, so the lawyer to a 3D modeller to... No,
Yes.
but it's an interesting contrast, isn't it? You know, because the reality of being a lawyer is actually, you know, there's a lot of work and there's a lot of qualifications and it's a certain type of person who can do that. And actually, you probably thought you wanted to be that person because it's a nice dream job maybe to some people. And then you think to yourself, actually, you've gone down a road of something more hands-on and practical, you know, which is a different type of skill set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it's still like who you know rather than what you know as well? There's still a lot of that.
100%.
Because obviously, you know, word
yeah,
of
I
mouth,
kind
you
of
hear
sort
of
of
jobs.
fell into it because I did
Yeah.
one module and then went to my tutor. He said, I can help you with that. And rang someone up here. I don't know who he spoke to, and then came here and did a work placement. Of course, I don't know anyone in the industry.
Nope.
None of my family background. Again, we owned a restaurant. So again, I worked there sort of part-time.
Yep.
Thinking that perhaps I may actually sort of, again, going down that lineage, I might have to work there full-time afterwards. But yeah, I don't know anyone in this industry at all.
No, that's interesting. And most of the people we've asked, it's not unusual. It's quite normal that is the case.
Oh, it's who you know. I
It
suppose.
is 100% who you know. You kind of fall into their jobs.
You
Some
see,
don't.
You see
but-
why a lot of university students come out of university and struggle because they don't have that connection.
No.
They probably have the qualifications, but you go to hand a CV to somebody. I mean, I've handed out loads of CVs, but yeah, my connection came again through catering and stuff like that, where you speak to customers,
Yep.
and they're like, "Oh, I'll try and get you a job as a placement," and you start off at the very bottom, just work your way up.
Yeah. That's an interesting concept. I'll come to in just a sec, but start yourself at the bottom.
Yeah.
And it's quite interesting. I think a lot of people come out of university and think, I've got a qualification, I need to go straight into this job at this position on X number of pounds worth of money because I've done my university degree.
Mm.
And actually, they forget, unfortunately, that you've probably still got to start at the bottom,
Yeah.
even with your degree.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And as awful as it is, maybe it shouldn't happen, but it does. It's the truth of it. Because real world experience is probably more practical and more necessary than a qualification.
It's only now until I'm actually at a position or a level as a manager and stuff where actually I probably could do those qualifications now.
Yeah.
It was only when I was in a placement, it didn't matter that I didn't have a degree or such because I didn't go to university. But now I'm a full-time manager and looking after a team, I could actually do a few courses and stuff like that, or
Yeah.
actually get trained up in that. So you almost have to self-learn
Yeah.
and find those courses online, which is expensive
We'll
and
go back to the-
time-consuming.
Yeah. Go back to the business and see if they'll
Mm.
put you on a course. We can ask Nathan later.
Yes,
And Zoltan, yourself.
Well, my case is similar to Luke's. I grew
Yep.
up on video games.
Yeah. What was your favourite game?
It always varies, but I always go back to Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy.
Yep.
It's just so fun. And Quake 3 Arena. The old shooters and old games. Doom. I love the new Doom as well. It always varies.
Still a gamer then? Still do the gaming?
Of course, I love it. So I fell in love with games. I fell in love with 3ds Max. I was like 14.
Really?
Like,
Wow.
like at first I started with Maya and
Yep.
just pressed the space button and all these different options came up. I was like, whoa, no, I'm not gonna do this. Then I found this new software, 3ds Max, and it was so easy to use for me, and I was like, I want to do this. And at that time I didn't know games were made by like 3D applications. I was just, my idea back then was I'm gonna be a programmer because I know video games need programmers. Like, I don't know where the idea came from, but later I realized that okay, I need to be an artist actually, and then I practiced a lot of 3ds Max, and and I got my first job during college. I was doing graphic design back then, and like I bumped into my old classmate who was the lead programmer for a company, like an event company, and they were looking for someone who does 3D, and he was like, "Hey, Zoltan, you do 3D, right?" Like, "Yes, why? We need you right now." And it was I got a really rapid project. Like I had to be done with several complex models in 3 days, and I did them in 2 days. I didn't sleep at all, and I got the job eventually. And then after that, 2 years later, I got a job in the game industry. I was really happy with it. My salary was like less than half, but and I had to work for the minimal wage because we were paid after performance. But I loved it. Like I spent, like we could sleep in the office. I was like, yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Sleep in the office?
Yeah, a couple of my colleagues always spend the nights there.
Really well.
Because
You bring your own sleeping bags and pillows. And
could do, yeah. Order pizza. Like I remember, like,
Like student life, isn't it? That is.
Oh my God.
I was running out of money on my phone, so I quickly phoned my girlfriend, like, "Please order pizza to this address, thank you, and tell me when it's here." And yeah, that's how I got pizza.
But that was the gaming side. So you sort of dream of going into gaming kind of did happen.
And finally I achieved it, and I loved every moment of it. But it was a startup company, like a really small one, and after a while they ran out of work. So like it was an outsource company, but we did our own game as well. And they ran out of projects. They couldn't hire us anymore. So after that, I was kind of fired on Friday. On Sunday, I got an amazing job at Hungary's national TV channel.
Yep.
And I was a motion graphic designer. Really easy job. That was really easy. And I was really bored. So then I moved to the UK and like looked for ways to get a job here. It's really competitive. That's when I realized this 3D industry in the UK is really competitive. You have to be one of the best. As Luke said, like if you have to know everything and a bit more, then you are considered. So I did that, for like I've worked on my portfolio for a year and a half, and then I saw this application, vacancy from Logic on Virtual Worlds. And I was like, that's me, like that's just modeling and fun and everything, and I got the job.
You mentioned two things there that was quite interesting. One is the fact you had to be an artist, and I think that's an interesting point because I think what the modelling is a kind of artistry, isn't it? You know, you are artists in your own right, and we talked briefly before we started this, but about how you get a product from the catalogue picture. As a layman, how do you get the catalogue picture of a toilet or a dishwasher or whatever the product may be? A toilet might be maybe so more simpler than a furniture unit or something. But you take that and bring it to first on a computer screen in say 2D, and you know you're looking at 3D or your 4D theatre. You know that and augmented reality. You're bringing that into all those different places. That is surely an artist's.
It needs an eye.
It needs an eye. You know, you need something.
Especially when we don't get any measurements. So, for example, when I got a bath feed, and the brief was "good luck."
Good luck.
You have to have artistic eyes. Like you have to see the shapes. You need to be an artist, and then figure out the measurements. Okay, that like you have to go by eyes. So yeah, you have those artistic skills next to the. When you have to be a designer and to know the curvature, like what angle it goes, like how long it can be. If like, you have to practice it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, some of our clients are very good. They do provide the model ready. I mean, to our specifications, and then we can just upload. I mean, our software is pretty much it's a path to the industry for a lot of our clients. So they give us the model, we upload it to Virtual Worlds, and then customers can use it on the other side.
Yeah.
So as long as we give them the right specs and what we need, some of them are good, some of us just provide drawings that we have to recreate and create the model ourselves. But yeah, it's a varied bunch really.
Yeah.
It really does vary on
Just
the client.
just like to make a point that it's not just artistry, being an artist.
Yeah.
A lot of the team here have to be quite technically minded as well.
Yeah.
Because one of the projects we've been working on is kitchen appliances.
Yep.
And that, it's sort of, you've got oven doors, microwave doors, we've got, what else have we got?
Fridge doors, freezer
Yeah,
doors.
fridge doors, freezers, dishwashers, things like that. So everyday house appliances that you don't really look at, but you use every day. But we have actually had to look at them in
Yeah.
depth, as in how does this door move, how thin is this door, how do all the internal bits all work together to actually make it look accurate. And a lot of the manufacturers don't give us information on that.
So you take a lot of time in actually trying to simulate real life.
We're almost
Yes.
kitchen
Yeah.
designers
Yeah.
and bathroom
Yeah.
designers as well.
Yeah, because you're exactly. You're
As
designing,
fast as
and also the
possible.
manufacturer taking on the manufacturer's role to a certain degree of how does the door sweep? Well,
Yeah.
Yes.
the manufacturer would have designed that and thought about that and how it works when they
Exactly.
design the product.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But that necessarily wouldn't be the same person you're dealing with
No,
in the
it's
manufacturer.
not. No.
So you're dealing with somebody in marketing maybe who will give you the catalogue or someone
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
R&D or
Mhm.
whatever. But yeah, that's
So,
a
yeah,
challenge,
we have to
isn't it?
be
Yeah.
creative as well as quite technically minded
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
understand how the product works, so we can convey that exact product into virtual worlds.
It's been some
Just-
trial and error. There's been trial and error.
Like
We've-
just last week, like we had a conversation with George about oven doors. Like, should they have a glass cover in front of them, or is just metal and some stickers? And we didn't know. We didn't have an oven in front of us. And then I went home. It was at the weekend, and oh, here's an oven. And I took pictures of it, like, so it goes in there like that. So there is a glass cover. And I sent the pictures to George, and she was like, Zoltan, close the oven and enjoy your weekend.
Actually, we're working like 6 months in advance as well. Well, we try to before the brochure's probably even released. So some of our manufacturers, it's not even, the products haven't even gone live. So we're trying to create things that necessarily aren't in the market yet. So we're trying to be more forward thinking, trying to get this stuff live with the product launch date as well. So it's a challenge.
That's a challenge for a
yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
manufacturers as well, because I know a lot of these manufacturers are pretty useless at getting the photography done,
Mm.
and that'll be done last minute. The brochure's done last minute, so you're almost working off of. Well, what do you even work off of? How do you even
Pretty much,
create
yes.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they can
just
give us-
just go and design an oven now, and we'll make it. It's probably easier.
Yeah.
And you mentioned fun. So you said coming here was Zoltan was fun,
It
a fun environment, and something that I'm quite interested in is the culture of business as well. So what makes working with these guys, and obviously George is a big influence, I'm sure, on your fun. But how does what makes it fun compared to your previous jobs, and what do you enjoy about it?
Definitely that it's all about modeling. I love that part. Like we had these, like we had to work a lot in Excel as well. I came to like that as well. Like it's just solving riddles. Like why does the oven work open like in the wrong way? Like why is it? Then I figure out the problem. It makes like I solved another issue. It just makes it fun. And then when you see your work like posted somewhere, like one of the manufacturers or a designer posts your oven there or your toilet or whatever, it makes you feel really good that
Yep.
that's my work. When I worked in video games, I was looking forward to that feeling when the character was carrying the gun you modeled, and I was like, that's me. Like I send pictures to my friends. I did that. Like many of us from here, they send like pictures of their stuff to family members. Like when a manufacturer posts this picture of their stuff, and see, I did that. It was me. It makes it fun, and obviously the environment is really good. It's really family-like. It's amazing to work.
So it's
with.
like a family you're working with. You're getting a reward, recognition, seeing your product out there that's being used in the real world,
Exactly.
and obviously solving problems. Obviously for you is
Yeah.
a good fun as well. And yourself, George?
I think it's all down to the people you work with. I mean, I think at the end of the day, work is work, whichever industry you are. But if you've got a good team of people to work with, it just makes your day better.
Yep.
There's always, I mean, we all work on different teams, but there's always banter going on, and there's work socials every so often.
Yep.
So we all just like to talk, and it just makes the day really good.
Good fun work culture.
Yeah.
Makes the day go quicker, doesn't it? That's the thing that I find.
Yeah.
And about yourself?
Yeah, same as George, really. I've got a group of 7 people in my room, so we all just have a good old laugh, really. Try to get some work done as well, but
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
mainly about the laugh.
Mainly about the laugh and the banter, and then you do a little bit of work.
that's it. Yeah.
Maybe
Maybe on the
4 till
side.
5 at the end of the day.
That's
just
it. Yeah.
an hour's work.
Catch up on everything.
Yeah, that's cool. And yourself?
Well, being their project manager, sometimes when I walk into the room, laughter stops. So it's
Oh, really?
it's a bit
They don't
difficult.
include you in the
No,
fun.
they don't really include me in. So
Yeah.
it's like, you know, I've worked for big companies, big corporations, and I always find that upper management always set the tone as well. So trying to set a relaxed tone for these guys to work in a happy environment rather than always just constantly being at them and trying to, you know, dictate what they're doing. I mean, they're all adults and they all know right from wrong sometimes, and if something has gone wrong, then we all as a team combine, get together and push forward and try and find a solution for it.
Yeah.
Likewise for my MD and, you know, all my upper management are all quite relaxed, and we're all in the same building and we all win together, and we, you know, live
So the
together.
culture just comes from the top, and it's
Yeah.
all down. You're just replicating the culture down through the teams.
Mhm.
And
Absolutely,
that's
yeah.
good. Well, they all went out last night for a beer.
Yeah, apparently
did
so.
You go?
Yeah, no,
Did you not
missed
go
that
out?
memo.
Did you? Oh,
I was back in the chip shop now.
Yeah. No, that's really good. Yeah, innovation. So for yourself, like the innovation of the products, and for you guys as a team working on the actual trying to model something, we were talking earlier slightly about appliances we mentioned, but with technology moving forward and appliances having, like for instance, cameras inside them now to see inside your fridge, the front door can change to a picture of inside your fridge. How's that going to be reflected with you guys? Who's got, you know, reflecting that in virtual
How we're
worlds?
going to reflect it in virtual worlds.
Yeah.
Yes, you've seen the
Oh,
you've seen
passing this on
4D.
to me, are you?
You've seen 4D. No, not you've seen 4D develop over the year and see the functionality that we've now put into that.
Yeah.
There's no reason why we can't get that stuff, and we've got touch screens and stuff like that within the 4D headset. I mean, those kind of things are quite easily put in. It's just time and who's after it and stuff like that, where we allocate that time to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why we can't put it in.
I think a lot of time and like research goes into what the products can do, and talking with customers about what they want to see actually replicated in like the 4D theatre.
Yeah.
So I think that'll probably be the next stage, because we are starting on the appliances. I know with the showers, you can have different shower sprays.
Yeah.
So originally we didn't have any showers actually emitting any water. It was just a static shower. Now we've got the functionality to touch the shower and it will turn on, it will spray water. And then some companies have multi-function showers, so now we're putting in the functionality or every time you touch it, it cycles through the amount of shower spray types that you've got. So there is a lot of thought that's going into what do customers want to see when they get into their room. We do have like an Alexa kind of system in 4D Theatre where you can do voice commands. So that's just a natural extension to if there's a kitchen that you've got with an oven that has it, just connect it up to that. I can imagine.
So the idea going forward then is you could have a 4D theatre and you could say, Alexa, show me the contents of my fridge, as you would in the real life, and it would then change the screen of the fridge to the food that's you guys have represented inside the fridge.
Yeah.
So that isn't beyond technology.
No, that would be just putting the time in, really.
Of course,
Yeah.
time and investment, and the manufacturer may not want to invest that
Yeah.
time, and it may not be relevant. But going forward, as we get more down that road, it's probably going to get. You know, like you say, Alexa, turn my shower on, or Alexa, turn main bathroom one shower on, whatever it may be. That's actually that's doable.
Yeah,
That's incredible. I think that's really really clever to be able to offer that to a
Yeah.
consumer.
Yeah, and then the retailer will be able to speak to the consumer directly in one of the showrooms. I mean, our whole thing is about keeping the high street alive and making sure that the retailer and if we've got these 4D theatres put in,
Yep.
that way a customer can walk into any of these places and put a headset on and see what it works like, rather than having to buy one of those fridges
Yeah.
or go in and test it manually.
Yeah, of course, because
Different versions of it and different
Yeah.
colours,
Yeah.
rather than it being physically there. It's the beauty of it.
So from that point of view, you could essentially say that, from a kitchen showroom point of view, you could have one setup on the 4D theatre, and you could change that rotate it through any setup that the customer wants. So it kind of like nullifies the physical showroom.
Well, you've multiplied it out.
Yeah,
How many times you want? 100
exponentially,
times.
yeah. And if the fashion for the floor tiles has changed from grey to pink, then you just change it from grey to pink, and it's not an issue. Whereas to change the showroom from grey to pink, that's taking all the tiles up
Yeah,
and
and they've
changing
got
all the
limited
work.
space. They've only probably got 2 or 3 display units that they actually have within that showroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do a lot of like budget ones as well. So you can have like a low budget version of the bathroom, which shows you the less expensive versions. And then, if you spend an extra £2,000, you can have it looking like this, and then they replace out all of the basins and baths with a slightly more expensive one. And then if you spend another £10,000, then you can have all the bells and whistles and
better best, I think is what they call it. I think.
Yeah, good, better, best scenario. That's interesting. It's clever that you can do that almost like a touch of a button. If that makes sense.
It's
It's a voice command.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
No, that's very clever. That's interesting. I should watch the demo maybe. And then I also got on here, like we've kind of touched on it, I suppose, a little bit, but roadmap of products, and obviously we've mentioned Alexa and home automation, or maybe Apple, or maybe Google. Who knows which one? If anyone's got a take, who do you think is going to win that race? That's Google.
So I've got an
Alexa,
Alexa. To say I use it like the way it probably could be used, I probably don't. I'll probably play the radio on it. I really don't use it enough. So
An interesting
We
fact. Have you got Alexa? Have you got
No.
Alexa? Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
Don't like the idea of it.
I guess I'm just old-fashioned, really. If I want to listen to the radio, I just turn the radio on.
Yeah,
Got
that's
it.
cool.
George puts
Do
a
you know what I mean?
cassette
I
tape.
don't feel like I need a voice command to turn the light on, or
Yeah.
a voice command to turn anything else
Yeah.
on. If I want to do that, I can physically do it.
Yeah.
So I don't need.
The
an
listening in
Alexa at all.
thing does concern me. Like, you've got your Alexa on and you're talking about a subject, and then you've gone to your Instagram, and there's an ad in your Instagram
Yeah.
for that thing you'd just be talking
That's
about.
correct.
It really does kind of
Really?
freak me out a little bit.
But
or the area that you're in, pub,
Yeah.
etc.
What are
I mean-
you talking about that you shouldn't be talking about?
what's your Instagram feed? But you mentioned that about that, and then you could turn it on turn it the other way, and you could turn around, instead of seeing an advert for something you're not interested in, you're potentially seeing something that's interesting. And from an advertiser's point of view, if you look at now, I'll give an example, and I've taken this from someone else's train of thought, but if you say, okay, what we can now do is we would then show you an advert. You're talking about Barbados. So what we do is we show you an advert in your Instagram feed about an amazing show in Barbados. So you think, oh, there's an amazing show I was talking about the other day. So now what we've now got is it was showing you a show in Barbados. So you kind of think, oh, I'd like to go to that show. And then the next couple of days they show you a deal on some flights and a hotel to Barbados.
Yeah, I
And
find
then
that
you're
all quite
correct-
scary.
But how
It's
did
no-
you
it's
get
no
that
different.
information?
Well, yeah, and from Alexa probably, but
Yeah.
but from or Google or whichever one it may be. But if you look at it, that's where it's going to probably get to, where it can influence what you purchase. And if you think about it, it's no different actually from where the iPad was invented. The iPad, nobody had an iPad, nobody wanted an iPad, nobody even knew an iPad existed. Apple went away and invented an iPad and then sold you a dream to say, actually, you need this. And they've made it influenced for you to go and purchase one, because you never needed an iPad before. If you've got one, most people probably have, or a tablet-style design
Form
product.
tablet, yeah.
And the tablet was never there until they sort of invented the desire to have one. And I think it's the same scenario. All it is just the future of that same piece of advertising is that you can now say, okay, I'll send someone a picture of a show, then a few days later say that, okay, they're interested in that. Now I'll show them the flights to get there and the hotel to get there. And do you know what? If they haven't purchased in 3 or 4 days or a week or whatever, then now I'm going to show them an even better deal to do it today on a time cap. If they don't do it today, it's going to lose it. And I'm going to force people down the road. But you know, it's interesting because you won't be receptive to that. Because you haven't got one. But the most popular voice command for Alexa is set a timer. That's the
Set
most
a timer.
Yeah, that's the most popular.
Again, there's probably so many things it can do, but
Yeah. But where do you think it's going to come into the bathroom? Where do you think it's kitchen, bathroom? The home. Where do you think it could be a use?
I guess when you're running low on stock for any home stuff, and they've already got like the dishwasher tablet buttons on your dish that you can
Yeah.
press the button and it orders dishwasher tablets for you.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
But once
Not
it's learned,
really.
you'll know that every 6 weeks you need some sort of delivery in
Yeah.
the future. But disabilities, from people from a disability point of view, can you, for a voice command, can you turn my shower on at 38 degrees for them? Can you turn it off because I'm now finished to get out of the shower or the bath, or lower my seat for me? That sort of stuff. But they're the real world uses where I think voice maybe. Don't know what your thoughts are.
I
Tom?
Kitchen appliances. I think we recently went to a Siemens presentation, and they showed us all their products, and they currently do. I think they actually had products where it is voice activated. Can you remember? It was like an oven one where you can actually. It was a bit weird. You actually had to turn it on first before you be voice activated, or was it a remote control where you can actually turn the oven on before, go out for a walk or go to the pub, and then the oven will be on and ready and warmed up for when you get home to put your roast in.
Yeah. I think
So
their
it's-
example was, I'm going to spend another 20 minutes at the pub buying
Yeah.
this guy a drink. Some random guy that
Yeah.
just bought a drink. I can't remember
Yeah.
the story. And he turned his oven down
Yes, that's
so it didn't burn what was in the oven
Yeah,
through his app.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
Very good.
so it's already in.
quite
Already in place, I suppose. It just needs to be more. I don't know.
It's tested and
yeah,
used
tested and marketed,
become
yeah.
more. Thing
But
is, they're
not-
normally like the top end products as well, aren't
Yeah.
they? So your average Joe's not going to have something that like top end
Mhm.
because they're expensive as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of how they roll it out to just normal people like us. Who,
I suppose it's no different to fit. I don't know if you guys are into fitness apps, but a lot of people do fitness apps. You think about it, you might follow fit. What do you want to achieve? I want to lose weight or get faster or whatever. But if you think about it and take it onto the kitchen, could you just talk about, please, could you set my, could you cook that lamb? It's a £2 of lamb or whatever the weight is,
Just
£4
cook it.
lamb. Can you get Jamie Oliver's version of it cooked at his recipe? Does that make sense? So you can actually cook
Yeah.
the whole lamb perfectly by the Jamie Oliver style, and then you'll get chefs sponsoring the
just send you the
different
ingredients that you
sensitive-
need for that.
Yeah, that's maybe for the future. Thank you guys. I think it's been really interesting, and I really appreciate your time today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.